fall. Looking for some new fashions to spice up your wardrobe? Well, today on PM Magazine, we'll find out what's going to be hot for spring and summer.
After 30 years of welcoming kids to his neighborhood, Mr. Rogers has become an American institution. But is he really what he appears to be on television? We'll meet the real Fred Rogers.
And the Phantom Diner visits Rupert's New American Cafe in St. Louis Park.
Good afternoon and welcome to PM Magazine. I'm Pat Brown.
And I'm Steve Doyle. Today we're at the Chi Psi fraternity here at the University of Minnesota campus, where, as you can see and hear, preparations are well underway for this weekend's annual Campus Carney. More on that a bit later.
Well, the coming of spring means many things to many people. To some, it's blossoming trees and barbecues. And to the people who are fashion conscious, it means a new wardrobe.
Join us now as we find out what's hot in spring and summer fashions for 1985.
Let's admit it, winter this year was a real drag. The kind of winter we'll be telling our grandchildren about. But now that the snow is nearly gone, our attentions can turn to more pleasant thoughts. And we invite you to forget the cold with some of this year's hottest fashion trends. Our first stop in our search for the new spring fashions was at March 4th on 1st Avenue in Minneapolis.
Bill is wearing the traditional classic fisherman sandal, a bicycle rain jacket, cotton pastel, the Hawaiian shirt, rayon, paisley print shorts, and a Hawaiian combination that we'll be seeing a lot of this summer.
This bold pattern is a typical Hawaiian floral print, but the new twist for this year's trend is the big cut. The sleeves can be rolled on the shirt as well as on the shorts, which are a Bermuda length, and they have a drawstring. Then underneath, Bill is wearing a bright mustard yellow tank top, which is a new color also.
And whether you go Hawaiian or not, you might want to complement your outfit with a colorful hat and bright sunglasses. Our next stop was at Frills in St. Anthony, Maine. Here you'll find a potpourri of accessories for just about any outfit. Jewelry this year promises to be bright and tropical looking. Or maybe it's an interesting fish necklace that will tickle your fancy. And for the art buffs in the crowd, you might want a hand-painted t-shirt by a famous artist. This one is by Christo. But if you feel it's your feet that have been neglected, check out Socks Appeal. Their wide variety of socks and hose will keep your tootsies tapping a happy tune. And when the really hot weather rolls in and you think you'd rather go sockless and topless, topless shoes that is, then we've got a feet treat for you. They're called Sole Suckers. By applying this washable adhesive to the sole of the shoe, Sole Suckers are ready to stick to your feet. This unique little topless shoe can be found at Sunseekers in Miracle Mile Shopping Center. So go ahead and pamper yourself with some of the newest fashions of spring, because after all, we survived the winter of '85.
Now, if you'd like to know where you can find those fashions here in the Twin Cities, just give our PM Magazine hotline a call.
Up next, the Phantom Diner pays a visit to the New American Cafe in Rupert's nightclub.
Hi, Larry Key for the new Southdale Ford. Hey, $1 down plus tax and license on your good credit buys any vehicle in stock here at the new Southdale Ford. Here's an example, a 78 Ford Cobra Mustang for $1,288 cash price, or how about 36 payments of $47.37? Or an 82 Olds Cutlass Salon, 48 payments of $146.90, or a cash price of $49.59. What are you waiting for? We'll see you soon.
Hi, honey.
Hi, sweetheart.
Better start without me.
Oh, we're having Ortega tacos with Ortega taco salsa. Oh, it's so chunky with zesty, tangy chilies and onions, and with luscious, juicy, tomatoey flavor.
Crunch into an Ortega taco with Ortega taco salsa for an irresistible taste experience.
Irresistible.
Thank you, dear.
Ortega tacos, the irresistible taste experience.
Days looking new and bright, and you're gonna start it right. Folgers starting to brew, the aromas call.
brighter with mountain-grown Folgers because mountain-grown coffee has more enticing aroma than any other kind.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Have you ever been ashamed of your white socks? Ashamed of your plain socks? Then get Oxidol, and you won't get ashamed to show it white.
The secret to Oxidol? Bleach. These green crystals have color-safe bleach. Want to see the difference Oxidol makes? Look.
The Oxidol sock is whiter. We can show off our whites, 'cause with Oxidol, you won't get ashamed to show it white.
Good afternoon. I'm Don Shelby with the WCCO television news updates. Audio tapes released today confirmed that there was confusion in the control tower during that near-miss collision between two Northwest flights. It happened earlier this month in a snowstorm. The Minneapolis Civil Rights Commission has formed a task force to look into claims made against the city's police decoy unit. The Young Quinlan store downtown began clearing it out today. It is closing for lack of business. Coming up in the weather, 70s today with a slight chance of showers. We have more news later.
PM Magazine.
Good evening. I'm the Phantom Diner, giving you a glimpse into my secret journal. Tonight, I'm returning to the new and exciting Rupert's American Cafe, part of a complex on Wayzata Boulevard in St. Louis Park that has taken Minneapolis by storm. Greeted in the anteroom and then shown to my table in the handsome San Francisco-inspired dining room, I was impressed by the warmth and the quiet sense of comfort around me. A crisp martini quickened my anticipation as I studied the forthright and uncomplicated a la carte menu. Not huge, but like America itself, an amalgam of much of the world. Appetizers and small salads, entree salads, mesquite charcoal grilled steaks and chops, oakwood smoked ribs, chicken and duck, Szechuan stir-fry, pasta and Wiener Schnitzel, and a number of desserts, actually more interesting than it may appear at first glance. I started with an appetizer of dried, crispy, and juicy string beans, a Szechuan stir-fry delicacy not commonly available, but uncommonly delicious. This meets and exceeds the requirements of the dish. Piquantly challenging to taste buds, it deserves a medal. Next, the New England clam chowder, chosen for the camera because it's an example of a well-known soup, and it surpasses by far any ordinary standards. The flavor is exquisitely clam, and its texture is perfect. My choice for entree is one I've never done for PM Magazine. Calf's liver with sautéed green peppers, onions, and mushrooms. The wine host has suggested cake bread cellars to accompany my meal. It was a smooth and mellow Cabernet Sauvignon, definitely the right choice. I asked for the liver underdone, and that's how I got it. Tender, succulent, and enhanced by charcoal grilling. For those who love liver, this is a must. My meal closed with New Orleans bread pudding with bourbon sauce, one of America's great regional desserts. Drinking coffee at Rupert's is a pleasure. It invariably tastes the way commercials claim coffee should. And now to confide to my secret journal. The food at Rupert's American Cafe, uncommonly good. Service, good. Atmosphere, busy, traditional, and entirely comfortable. Price range, moderate. Parking, unless you're very early, plan on the valet. The Phantom's philosophy, make your reservations well in advance. Rupert's is worth it. Next time, I'll be at Giorgio's in East St. Paul. Look for me there and compare notes with the Phantom Diner.
If you have any suggestions for restaurants you'd like the Phantom Diner to review, just drop us a line here at PM Magazine.
Well, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is the longest-running children's program on public television. It's won every award in its field and millions of fans.
As PM Magazine's Barry Nolan discovered when he dropped by Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Fred Rogers is just as nice a guy in person as he is on the show.
Recognize these sneakers, these slacks, this sweater? That's right, Mr. Rogers.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
At the age of 56, Fred Rogers is celebrating his 30th year with children's programming on public television. He's become a national institution just by being himself on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I share myself. I give an honest human adult to the children who are watching. Hi, neighbor. I'm glad we're back together again.
WQED in Pittsburgh is normally home for Mr. Rogers, but we found the neighborhood cast and crew in Boston on the set of a special segment they're doing for their show on music featuring the Empire Brass Quintet.
Do you ever feel like dancing when you play that?
Oh, yes. Not your standard TV personality, Mr. Rogers originally planned to go to seminary after college, but instead went to work at NBC Television in New York in the early 50s as a floor manager. And it was there that he heard his calling.
And so I said to my friends in New York, I'm going into public television. They said, you are going crazy. Why would you leave a network and go to Pittsburgh, to a place that wasn't even on the air yet? But something was working inside me.
And that something was children's programming. And after 8 years of producing and being the man behind the puppets, Mr. Rogers found his way in front of the camera.
Hi, I'm glad to see you today. Is it almost the new year in your home?
It was a winning combination from the very start. Kids, television, and Mr. Rogers. But there are always critics.
Some people will say sappy, some people will say dippy. There are every imaginable kind of adjective that people will say about my communication with the kids on television until they themselves have children. And then their attitudes seem to change. I'm glad we're television neighbors, you and I. People used to say to me, I don't understand why my teenagers are watching. My kids are juniors and seniors in high school and they're looking at you again. And I said, that doesn't surprise me at all. Many of the same issues about identity and separation are all being worked at a different level in adolescence.
Despite the critics, Fred Rogers remains the current king of children's television, with his warm, genuine style that has withstood the test of time.
There's some young parents now who have grown up with the neighborhood who are now giving it to their children. They say it's like giving them an old favorite book from their childhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please, won't you be my neighbor?
Well, Mr. Rogers has become such an American institution that one of his old sweaters now hangs in the Museum of Modern History at the Smithsonian Institution.
Morris discovers 9 Lives Crunchy Meals.
Morris, surprise! Guess what you had?
I hate games.
Hint, it's the new dry cat food.
Dry, game's over.
It's 9 Lives.
9 Lives? Well, I don't want to be a poor sport.
New 9 Lives Crunchy Meals. Morris's favorite flavors like Super Supper, now made crunchy. At last, a crunchy cat food good enough for Morris.
9 Lives Crunchy Meals? You're the only game in town.
And look at this iWorks ad. Now for a limited time only, 20 to 40% off over 4,000 frames, including designers. Wow.
It's all right here at the iWorks, the superstore of eyewear. From our exclusive eyewear analysis computer that helps you pick your perfect frame to, yes, over 4,000 frames, from $10 to the top designers. The iWorks has it all. The iWorks, it's eye care as you've never seen it before.
And we're going to the iWorks.
Rich and creamy. That's the taste of new Hills Brothers Swiss Mocha with NutraSweet. Rich and creamy. New Hills Brothers Swiss Mocha with NutraSweet. Not sugar. It's so delicious, people prefer its taste to General Foods Swiss Mocha with sugar. So make that special moment more special with Hills Brothers flavored coffees. Regular or sugar-free. Rich and creamy.
You buy a used car from Roseville, most cars have a 5-month, 5,000-mile service contract included. Here's some examples. A front-wheel drive 83 Dodge Aries SE, stereo, cloth only $127 a month. And here's a 79 Dodge Omni automatic, cloth interior only $73 a month or $19.95. And here's a buy, a 79 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, only $182 a month. You're protected with a 5-month, 5,000-mile service contract when you buy from Roseville Chrysler Plymouth.
Most Hollywood makeup artists are trained to bring out the beauty in actors. Well, Tom Savini is trained to bring out the beast. You see, Tom specializes in zombie makeup. Our Liz Miles met him on the set in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he turned an attractive model into a monster.
It was an interesting experience, a once-in-a-lifetime, what we might call an adventure.
Deborah Gordon won't be the only zombie growling in front of a camera. Over 1,000 zombies were cast by director George Romero for the final part of his zombie trilogy. His first zombie film was Night of the Living Dead. Next came Dawn of the Dead. And now it's Day of the Dead. This story takes place at a time when Romero's zombies are more decayed and gruesome than ever. And this film will be more violent than ever.
This is the ultimate zombie movie. Every zombie is different. Every zombie looks different. There are more prosthetic appliances. They're more decayed. They're more rotten. Everybody has generic teeth in them. You know, since Michael Jackson's Thriller came out and Return of the Dead and all these zombie films that are coming out, we have to be one up on them.
Every drop of fake blood, every gory effect, every mechanized body part is the work of this man. He is Tom Savini, master of special effects makeup. He already has a long list of horror movie credits, including Creepshow, Friday the 13th, Final Chapter, and Dawn of the Dead. And Tom Savini is hoping that Day of the Dead will be the scariest movie ever put on film. In fact, the movie will not even be submitted for a rating. Tom Savini's makeup shop is like a nightmare waiting to come to life. This is where Debbie Gordon is transformed from a beautiful actress and model into a decaying zombie. Debbie is playing the lead female zombie in the movie. Her makeup must be precise and detailed for the camera close-ups. It's a long and complicated process which actually started a month ago. A life-size mold is made of Debbie's face. Then foam latex is poured into the mold, and out pops a rubber mask. One piece will fit around Debbie's eyes and the other under her lower lip.
When she moves her face, it'll move with her. It's like the outside of her face is brand new. The inside of her face controls it.
After the masks are glued down, layers of grease paint and powder are applied. Her arms get a makeup job, too. Liquid latex is painted on. When it dries, her skin takes on a wrinkled look. The rubbery layer is scraped away to make it look like she has open wounds. And if that's not enough, the makeup crew isn't finished yet. Next comes the blood.
It's a special type of blood that we use. It's called gel blood. It kind of coagulates like real blood and forms more of a thick, kind of a crusty blood.
It's made of Caro syrup and red food coloring. Barbecue sauce is used for scenes that call for the blood to be eaten. And other food is also used for Debbie's zombie makeover. A mixture of oatmeal, charcoal powder, and hair gel are rubbed into her hair. The finishing touch, false teeth. And after 2 hours in the makeup chair, this is the final result. It's a face only another zombie could love. And of course, being a lead zombie, Debbie has important lines.
One of them goes like this.
What kind of reactions did you get from family and friends when they found out what you were working on?
Well, people can't believe that I would do this. A lot of my friends and family, my father was a little upset. He just couldn't understand why I would want to do this or why I would want anyone to know that I did it.
Even though a starring role is hard to turn down, Deborah Gordon is not sorry that the filming is over and that she can return to more conventional roles, including wife and mother. Until, that is, the next big challenge comes along.
Well, one thing about Debbie is she's a very spontaneous lady, and I think that's what makes her so exciting and nice to live with. She's an unusual person, and we never know what her next move's going to be.
It was interesting. It was an experience.
Next, this man is something of a television legend, but he's not a performer, he's a fan.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, our Kentucky nuggets taste so good. Do you dip them in sauce or not?
To dip or not to dip?
I think I'll go for a dip. But then again...
No, your nuggets.
Only our nuggets are made with the Colonel's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, so they don't need sauce, but we've got it. So...
You can dip it or you can skip it.
No, your nuggets. We do chicken right.
What we have here is a case of irreconcilable differences. These coolers have caffeine and artificial color. The uncooler does not. The biggest difference, in my unbiased opinion, is taste. The uncooler is so crisp and clean, it's hard to do it justice. For unequal refreshment, the un's the one. Case closed. 7-Up, the uncooler.
I bet the coach would really like this washer.
It's on sale during the White Westinghouse Green Tag sale.
Let's get in this microwave oven.
It's on sale, too.
How about this refrigerator?
Green Tag, too.
What about this dishwasher?
It's a Green Tag special, too.
We'll take them all.
They'll take them all.
Hurry to the Twin Cities Best Buy Company stores for the White Westinghouse Green Tag sale and low, low prices.
Cosby here with a man who claims he's discovered the origins of Jell-O brand pudding pops, frozen pudding on a stick.
Look, they loved them.
How do you know they're creamalicious Jell-O pudding pops?
Here they are making the pudding.
Like Mom makes. The smooth, rich Jell-O pudding that's in Jell-O pudding pops.
They especially love chocolate vanilla swirls.
But where would ancient children get them from?
Their mummies.
Jell-O pudding pops, good news for your mouth and your mummy.
Nearly 1 million Americans die from heart disease every year. Research sponsored by the American Heart Association is seeking the answers to questions posed by heart disease. And yet, despite many life-saving developments, more questions remain. By remembering the Heart Association, you are investing in your future and in the future of the people you care about. This is John Gallus for the American Heart Association, fighting for your life.
In the average American home, the TV is on for about 7 hours a day, but in Art Zeef's home, it's on for as many as 16. Then again, Art is not your average TV fan.
When Art Zeef gets home, he wants to relax. So, like millions of other Americans, he switches on the TV. The thing is, Art has 13 TV sets and 110 stations to choose from. Ever since he's semi-retired a few years ago, watching television has become his hobby, up to 16 hours a day.
Everybody has a different appetite. Mine happens to be TV and what it offers. People like to dress up in their tuxes and go to the opera or to the symphony or ballet. More power to them. Mine is in TV, and I have a much greater variety than those people do.
With $30,000 worth of video equipment, Art definitely has variety. 2 of his TVs plug into the cigarette lighter of his car. Every room of the house has at least 2 sets, so Art can watch his favorite sporting events, even if there are 2 games on at once. And he's practical when it comes to catching the action.
The reason I have a TV in the bathroom is because I don't want to miss a touchdown or a home run. This is a 6-foot screen, 2-piece projection set, exactly the same as we have in the bedroom. However, it's not too convenient to have more than 2 or 3 people watch the set in the bedroom.
Then there's the unit Art bought for the lady of his life.
This is a 45-inch TV that I bought for my wife. As I predominantly watch sports, she hates sports. With this set, she can watch her soap operas, movies, and all the news events.
Mrs. Zeef doesn't exactly share her husband's appetite for TV. So how does she handle the electronic orgy going on in the house now that Art's not working much?
Because he's doing something that he really enjoys doing. And maybe it gives me a little free time to do what I want to do, too.
You know, he goes a little bit overboard. But if he enjoys it, that's more important than anything.
Art's only problem is figuring out what to watch. When his local university canceled the basketball program, he was crushed. That's when Art discovered satellite TV. With a $5,000 dish, he can watch his heroes all over the country without ever leaving the bedroom. Art spends hours pouring through dozens of TV guides to plan his viewing schedule. It's worth it, though. He's in video heaven with 35 to 50 basketball games a week, not to mention everything from boxing to harness racing. And whatever he doesn't have time to watch, Art has 8 video recorders, too.
Nutsy as I may be, it keeps me busy, and I'm happy.
Well, if you were wondering how Art manages to watch 2 games at once, he says he does it ping-pong style. The only drawback is that his eyes get tired. Well, as we mentioned earlier on in the show, tomorrow is the beginning of Campus Carnival here at the University of Minnesota. And I have with me now Shelley Sipple. Shelley is the executive director of the event. And Shelley, for those who don't know, just what is Campus Carnival?
Campus Carnival is the largest student-run fundraiser in the country, and it takes place in the University Fieldhouse.
Okay, now the money that you raise, where does that go?
The money goes to a designated charity that's chosen every year, and this year we've chosen the Vikings Children's Fund, working with the Minnesota Vikings. And it goes with our theme, which is looking out for children.
Okay, if people would like to come out and enjoy it, where do they pick up tickets?
They can get tickets at all Dayton stores, at the university bookstores, and from the people in the event. We're selling all their tickets prior to the event and at the door.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, tomorrow on PM Magazine, find out how you can throw away your eyeliner and still have beautiful eyes forever. Learn about a controversial permanent eyeliner process that your doctor can perform in one office visit.
Then singer and actor Chris Christopherson talks about his leading ladies, his incredible good fortune, and the one mistake that ended his marriage and almost ruined his career.
That was probably the single stupidest thing I've done in my life.
And we'll discover a new photo studio here in the Twin Cities that's giving a new dimension to family portraits.
Don't forget, we'd like to see everyone at the annual Campus Carney coming up this weekend here at the U of M. It sounds like a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Sounds like a ball.
To get you in the mood, we're going to leave you with a sample from the Alpha Gamma Delta Ballyhoo kick line. See you tomorrow.
Stay tuned for the 5 p.m. report next on Channel 4.
I just bought my last set of disc pads and brake shoes for this car. Right, Fred?
You bet.
Napa lifetime warranty brakes. Not 12 months, not 12,000 miles, lifetime.
Napa backs up their premium disc pads and brake shoes with a lifetime warranty for as long as you own your car. And a car's lifetime can be a long, long time. Right, Fred? Ah, give me a break. No, you give me a break.
Tell your serviceman you want
Napa lifetime warranty brakes.
You gotta work out. It's tough losing weight. But it's worth it. I'll do it.
Everybody's got a diet right. It doesn't matter who you are.